Welcome to the Holiday Heroes of Jersey podcast, where you'll hear profiles of the people making a difference through the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Every year, the Holiday Fund empowers 10 amazing regional charities to deliver real help to real people right here in Jersey. Join us this holiday season as we bring you stories of changed lives and renewed hope made possible by generous donations and the dedicated people helping our neighbors who need it most across the Greater Newark, New Jersey region. Are you ready? Let's get to today's session.
Hey friends, this is Kenny Jang here again with the Holiday Heroes podcast, broadcasting from the Greater Newark Holiday Fund home base here in New Jersey. We're in for another treat today as I'm able to interview what we're affectionately calling around here Holiday Heroes. We want to shine a light on all these individuals, people just like you and me, but people who have made the decision to make a difference where it counts right here in our own backyard, the Garden State of New Jersey. Today, I'm fortunate to have across from me Phil Lipper. Welcome to the show today, Phil.
Thanks, Kenny.
So, Phil, you're a commercial real estate broker. You work with Jones Lang LaSalle. You represent users in the office space nationally. First, let's get right to it. Tell us a little bit more about what you do there at Jones Lang LaSalle.
Basically, I represent tenants and users of office space in whatever needs that they have, and I've been doing it for 32 years. I like to tell people a full head of hair ago.
So one of the reasons why we brought you on here today is because you've been volunteering quietly for the Greater Newark Holiday Fund, which itself is a 501c3 nonprofit charity and raises funds every year during the holiday season for 10 different social service agencies and nonprofits in the New Jersey Greater Newark region. And you're doing great work for the Holiday Fund. So tell us a little bit about how did you first hear or get involved with the Greater Newark Holiday Fund?
I'm friendly with Frank Ferrugia, who's been on the board for 8 or 9 years, and I'd play golf with Frank, and Frank would quietly mention something called the Holiday Fund, and then sooner or later I was like, what is this Holiday Fund, and tell me a little bit about it, and the next thing I knew, I was on the board.
It's all about relationships, right?
Absolutely.
So the Holiday Fund does so many great things. This year in particular, 2017, the Holiday Fund is supporting 10 regional charities across New Jersey. Do you have a favorite that you can tell us or talk to us a little bit about, or share a story about any of the amazing organizations to help our listeners better understand why you're involved with this nonprofit?
With John Neitzel, who's the chairman, we went to some of the agencies in the last couple of years, and we were at one of the agencies, I actually don't remember the name of it, but they had this amazing story about this woman who was a high school dropout, and she had gotten pregnant when she was 16 or 17 years old, and they had really helped her through it, and they got her GED, and she was actually now involved in the upper echelon of the charity, and she'd really gotten her life together, and she had gotten a GED, then she had actually gotten a college degree. Her child was in the daycare there, and it was really interesting because you really saw it hands-on what they had done for this one particular person to truly improve their life and make a difference.
That's amazing. How many years have you been involved with the Greater Newark Holiday Fund?
I think 3 or 4 years, probably 4 years.
And over those years, can you characterize, have there been standout years, or is it just been even across the board? I'm assuming that working with this about 10 or so each year, that you consistently hear of stories of transformation and impact every single year.
No, definitely. I mean, you constantly hear, different stories. Unfortunately, there's a lot of need out there, and there's a lot of heartache, and all these organizations, are with people that are really great people that are working hard to just, empower people and make their lives better.
Can you share one personal holiday wish for the program that you have? What's one thing that you would love to see happen this year in particular?
I think this year, especially with the discourse and that we have, and kind of the nastiness, I think it's really great to see people wanting to get involved in things like the Holiday Fund and really say, okay, we at least we're going to kill each other and argue with each other like madmen for the first 9 months of the year. But at least in the last 3 months, maybe we can settle down and kind of get back to the sense of community that we all had when we were growing up and people really trying to help people.
I love that sentiment of, hey, this is the holiday spirit. Let's come together. And that's what we're talking about here, right? We're talking about making a difference right here in Jersey, make it local, make a difference where it counts for our neighbors. So that brings me to this point where, look, there's so many great charities out there to support today, right? Especially during the holiday season. After hearing some of the stories that you've heard and the ones that you've shared with us, definitely there's listeners out there today listening to our conversation right now that are going to be considering donating to the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Yeah. What would you say to that person who's listening, whose ears are perked up a little bit and say, hey, I'm interested, I'm curious, I might be on the fence a little bit about making a donation today. What would you say to that person if you had them in front of you directly today?
Well, I think one of the really unique things about the Holiday Fund is the notion and the concept of that there are 10 charities that are involved. And so, we're really a conduit for capital going towards these charities at a time when they really need it, towards the end of the year and the holiday season. And as opposed to the people that are like, I'm not sure if I should give something to this charity or that charity, you're really spreading it truly across ethnic lines, lines between, you have some that are very suburban, some that are very focused on Newark, and you have some religious charities, and it really spreads it across very, very well.
And there's history to the organization, right? It's been happening for 80 years this year, right?
Yeah, it's an 80-year-old organization. It was set up, like, unfortunately, a lot of organizations had to be set up during the middle of the Great Depression when there was just this unbelievable need for it. But, unfortunately, the needs really haven't changed. It's just not quite as dramatic as, living in a world of 40% unemployment.
Yeah. So this is one of the things I love about the Holiday Fund is that portfolio effect, that you don't need to choose one. When you're donating to the Greater Newark Holiday Fund, you're helping many across many organizations. We believe here that it's people like you right here in our own backyard who are making that bold decision to make time to volunteer your time in a way that we're calling you a holiday hero. Can you share with us what motivated you to volunteer outside of that relationship? What keeps you going year after year to be, again, New Jersey life is super busy. We are not known in this portion of the United States to be completely laid back and have tons of leisure time. You're super successful in your vocation. What keeps you going to be associated and volunteering your time proactively for the Greater Newark Holiday Fund?
Both of my parents are from the South Bronx. My father-in-law is from Newark. My mother-in-law, the wealthy one in the family, she was from Bayonne, New Jersey, which was like, they would view that as the upper echelon back then. And it's just, and I realized that I'm very fortunate. I've got a great life, and I realized not as much where I came from, but where my parents and my in-laws came from. And people constantly are talking about that this could be the last generation where we were better off than our family and our parents. And I certainly don't want to see that. I believe in the dream that's America. And I really want to see people working hard towards empowering people to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do to make their life better and fulfill it.
Well, thank you very much for sacrificing your time, your talents, to really help those in need right here where we live in Jersey. It's honestly, we say it from the bottom of our heart, heroes like you are making a difference where it counts. If someone wants to reach out to you directly, what's the best way for them to connect or learn more about you or your company?
It's just, Philip, PHILIP.Lipper, LIPPER, at am.jll.com. We're very big on .jll. And, it's a strange email address, but it is what it is.
So great. But I love the fact that you're being accessible, because there are people out there that will have some questions and want a little bit more prompting. And I'm really happy that you're available to encourage those people to get further involved with the holiday funds. Thank you so much again for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Kenny.
And thank you to all our listeners today for taking the time to hear about our conversation with another holiday hero. I invite you out here in the audience to learn more about the Greater Newark Holiday Fund. Simply go to 2017.holidayfund.org. And when you donate, you're making a difference where it counts. Please help us get the word out by dropping a comment here below, or please consider taking that extra step. It really helps us out if you give us a rating on our podcast on iTunes. It's a super impactful way for you to help us reach more people so that our organizations that we support reach and help more there. So please share this opportunity with others just like you and me to join in on the Holiday Fund this season. Till next time, I'm Kenny Jang. Be good and be generous this season.
If you enjoyed today's session, please help us share the work of the Greater Newark Holiday Fund with friends and family who can make a difference in northern New Jersey. You can do that by leaving a review on iTunes or by sharing our website 2017.holidayfund.org with your network. We believe that those who practice generosity during this critical time of year are our very own hometown holiday heroes. Let your generosity make a difference where it counts. The Greater Newark Holiday Fund is a giving partner you can believe in, trusted by more than 20 corporate and foundation grants, and thousands of individual donors just like you. And don't forget to join us every week, right here for the next installment of the Hometown Heroes of Jersey podcast.